past 3 years, I've had the honor of designing a portion of Indianapolis's newest holiday tradition, Winterlights. Specifically, I'm part of the 4-person team that designs, creates, and installs the holiday decor at the Lilly House. Winterlights is an outdoor holiday experience on the Newfields campus. It features 9 different attractions and 1.5 million lights. The highlight, the landscape of light, is a choreographed light show on the Lilly House lawn featuring the music of the Nutcracker. In 2017, its first year, 70,000 people attended. It was a wild success. The problem? Not everything's a winner. The Lilly House interior fell flat compared to the rest of the Winterlights experience. While the house looked beautiful and sophisticated, we didn't take any risks with the design. The majority of guests surveyed, 51%, indicated it was, quote, forgettable, disappointing, or mildly enjoyable. It used to be the only area of campus that was decorated for the holidays, but not anymore. Newfields director Charles Venable expressed a desire for the Lilly House to provide more of an experience. It certainly didn't feel like a failure, but it did leave a lot of room for improvement. And here's where my experience comes into play. For 8 years, I'd worked as a display artist for the retail company Anthropologie, designing and building large-scale installations like this holiday window from 2014. After that, I started my own creative business, doing much of the same, called Color Story Studio. I began the search for inspiration, looking at trends in home decor and interior design, and created several mood boards, similar to this one, but something felt off. I knew from my years at retail that holiday was about telling a story, provoking a mood. So in addition to sharing this inspiration, I also shared this. What if we filled an entire room full of paper chains or created a fabric blizzard? These displays were more than just over the top. They told a story. They evoked a mood. But most of all, you'd never call them disappointing or forgettable. As a team, we agreed to go for it. In order to create a cohesive design, we chose an overarching theme of paper. It's inexpensive and available in dozens of sizes, weights, and colors. We also decided on a mostly white and ivory color palette with select pop colors for each room. A little known fact is that Newfields volunteers make about 80% of the overall decor. One of my deliverables were these how-to guides. I made a total of 10 step-by-step how-tos the volunteers then used to create the decor elements. They included all necessary tools, supplies, tips and tricks, timelines, and goals. For the decor that was either more complicated to make or too messy, like these candle ornaments, I was allocated 2 weeks of production time in my home studio. During this time, I also built the support structure for the dining room chandelier. Finally, after months of planning, preparation, and production, it was now time to start install. The installation took 12 full days with 4 to 5 people working every day. That's just the Lilly House. And now I'll walk you through each room of the Lilly House. The following photos were taken by Newfields photographer Samantha Veach. The Great Hall is an indoor winter forest. It features 25 LED birch trees and 10 cut preserve trees. They're decorated with paper chains in 3 different sizes and a total of 1,000 handmade paper ornaments in 5 different styles. Notice the shadows cast on the ceiling. We wanted to inject a little humor into the game room, which is a small pass-through room. There are 313 presents wrapped and piled on every available surface of this room. LED pillar candles decorate the built-in bookcases, which leads you into the library. The focal point of the library is a decorated tree in the bay window. Decorations include 24 paper chain swags, 220 handmade candle ornaments, and an oversized candle topper. Over 400 LED pillar candles and faux greenery line the bookshelves of the built-in bookcases. The design of the music room was led by Mary and Keith. The tree is decorated with hundreds of origami butterflies, dozens of paper poinsettias, and illuminated paper lanterns. The topper is a group of white birch branches draped with tiny paper chains and dozens of sparkly gold butterflies. The inspiration for the dining room was to build a paper chain chandelier and have it expand to take over the room. The result is a mix of whimsy and sophistication. In total, there was about 3/4 of a mile of paper chain made for the Lilly House, and the majority of it is in this room. In the kitchen, we chose to go simple, reusing the glittery paper houses from the 2017 display. We created a snowy village scene on the prep table in the middle of the room. Also, if you look in the background, there's a village scene paper cutout in the window that has curtains on it. And finally, the last room, the stair hall, was decorated with alternating swags of paper garland and paper chain garland. Notice how every time the pine garland, swoops up, the paper chain garland swags down. Lilly House looked decidedly different in 2018 than it did in 2017. We took a big risk, and it paid off. Winterlights attendance was up 60% over the previous year, meaning 111,000 people attended. And Lilly House was the most improved. 66% of survey participants rated it as being, quote, very enjoyable, which was up from 49%. One of my biggest takeaways from the experience is that anyone can decorate a home for the holidays. It's simple, but it's not easy. It takes an amazing amount of time and preparation to create a magical experience. This is a good reminder for anyone, even for people who do this for a living. Just because we make it easy doesn't mean it is. Sometimes we just have a higher tolerance for frustration and a few tricks up our sleeves. Thanks.